I do mortgages. I am a branch manager at the CHW team in Bolingbrook with Glenn Crowner and Ricardo Wardlow. So I know some of you work with all one of us. And if you're not working with one of us, you should be soon. But I wanted to take this time to really tell you a little bit about me and how we came about the CHW team and what we're doing differently and why. So my life started off traditional, just like everyone else's, and then I had a sense of abandonment when my mom left when I was 11. Sent me spiraling out of control, and soon I was kicked out of high school, straight F sophomore year. I was told from my family I was gonna never be anything, have anything, or do anything in my life. Found my family on the streets of Chicago, hanging out in Inglewood with gangs, but that was my family. Taught me a lot, and soon I did graduate from the alternative school I went to. So that was a blessing for me, but soon after I found myself homeless at 17 and trying to figure out what I was gonna do next or how I was gonna, survive from day to day. That's when I started my career. Where's my West Siders at? I started off as a switchboard operator at Foley Rice Cadillac on Madison at 17 when I had my first apartment in Oak Park. And that led me to become a finance manager in the car business at the age of 24, which I don't know about male-dominated industries, but that's probably one of the roughest ones. And it was very difficult. I remember I had an uncle who worked in the car business. He sold warranties for a large warranty company, and he told me, I'm gonna be a finance manager. He's like, you gotta go to college, you gotta sell cars. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. It's not for me. I'm gonna be a finance manager though, and then a couple of years later, he walked in to sell the dealership that I was a finance manager for, to sell us his warranties. I said, well, hi, Uncle. I'm the finance manager. You can talk to me. He was the same uncle who told me I was never going to be anything at the family party. So I was like, then I started dreaming, right? At the age of 19, I got pregnant with my first child, and I knew she was my reason to change everything. Because at the time, I was headed 2 places, dead or in jail. Soon, but I named her Destiny because she was truly that for me. She allowed me to start dreaming and seeing different things and wanting different things in life. I wanted a $500,000 house. I knew I could make 6 figures a year. I wanted to have family vacations and build those experiences with my children. And I wanted a summer home. I started seeing all of it. And when you're surviving, you don't dream. So I don't know who's surviving out here, but if you're surviving, do yourself a favor and start dreaming now. It will help you get there much faster. I promise you it will. Just like everyone said, put it out there, see it, dream it, know it's for you, and it will come. It will. I literally a couple years later, after the car business fired me, they did me the best favor in my life, but at the time, they fired me and didn't give me my bonus, so I didn't know how I was gonna pay the mortgage or feed my daughter. When they didn't pay me my bonus check, I had to hurry up and get on unemployment, and then I found myself applying for a job in the mortgage business. I got in the business, and within 6 months, I was making over 6 figures a year because I knew I could. 6 months later, I built a $500,000 house. I had an in-ground pool. Invited the family over who said I was never gonna be anything and do anything or have anything. Got them their favorite liquor and said, wanna swim in my in-ground pool? Because I feel like I'm on MTV Cribs right here. I also had 3 rental properties. I bought a vacation home. How many of you have been to Wisconsin Dells? You know the wilderness? They have condo-tels, guys. So you own a piece of the hotel by buying a condo. So I bought a 3-bedroom condo at Wisconsin Dells, and it was a family vacation for my kids whenever I wanted to. And then I sent all my referral partners there and utilized it. So I had a vacation home, and I took that same year, I took 4 vacations with the family. I was like, I'm living the dream. 2006 came, I gave birth to my twins. And then 2008, I opened my own brokerage.
Wow.
I was like, I made it, I'm here. And then the rug got pulled out under me. And I didn't have the savings. I was really, just living day to day, and I thought it was never gonna end. Well, boy, was I wrong. It ended, and I found myself losing everything. The only thing that I was able to hold on to, though, was the condo-tel because it paid for itself. So I owned the mortgage. They took 36% and paid me monthly to rent it out like it was a hotel. So that was the one thing I was able to hold on to, and it was the best investment I ever made in my life. But during that time, I also ended up moving in with my mom in a house that I had bought for her. It was 3 bedrooms with me and my 4 kids and my husband. Hadn't lived with my mom since I was 11, so I was like, this is new. Don't know how I'm gonna do this. But I knew that there was more for me. That wasn't gonna be the end of my story, and I started to dream again. I also filed for divorce. I'm like, if I'm gonna lose everything, I might as well take whatever baggage has gotta go, it's gotta go. It just didn't work. So it was time to start over. So me and my 4 kids moved into a 2-bedroom apartment, and I started rebuilding. Nobody ever told me to read books, and guys, I never read a book in my life before I was like 34. And someone introduced me to this guy. He was a serial entrepreneur, LA Street gangbanger turned multi-millionaire. I'm like, I can relate to that one, so let me read that. So, someone introduced me to him, and I read his book. And then I read a few more books after that, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is motivating. And I started surrounding myself and just putting myself in a room with entrepreneurs just so I could hear them, and that was all I needed to pick myself off of that floor from crying every single day, wondering why, crying, why me, why did I have to go through it? Well, why is because I had to walk through the fire to be where I am today, to be able to make the impact that I'm gonna make, and to be able to change as many people's lives as we are gonna be able to touch. That's why. That's where my story is a little different, because God puts his warriors through the most horrific things so that you can come out at the other end, because he has a greater impact for you than you realize. So I don't cry anymore and ask myself why. I say, okay, I got it. I'll listen to you now. What am I supposed to learn from this one? And then I proceed and, take it day by day and just know that he's leading me somewhere different, somewhere greater, somewhere better. During that time, after I got up and got mentored by people, got up off the ground and said, this is not the end of me, I got back in the mortgage business, doubled my business every single year, and then I was like, okay, great. I need to find a good company because nobody does make sense lending anymore. I can't even offer a loan to 90% of people out there. So I found Loan Depot, and they're the only mortgage company that I have come across that actually does what they say they're gonna do. And because of my vast knowledge and extreme hardships throughout my life, I learned how to do a little bit more and make sure that I treat every single client, whether you're a 400 or an 800 credit score, you get the same line of service from me. I'm sorry, I don't have it any different. Because to me, we're all people and we all go through different things. So if you can just give a little to everybody and lead people, they'll end up getting there. So everyone comes out of our system with a path, whether it be a rapid rescore, credit repair, or they're getting pre-approved, but they leave with the path, and at least I give them the knowledge that they need in order to be able to do what they want in life. So then Loan Depot came. I started working there. I was there for about a year. I hit their chairman's elite, and I decided, okay, well, upper management gets paid a lot of money, and they're not really helping me right now. They're kind of not hearing me, so I have to be heard. So I met the CEO of the company, and we are the 2nd largest non-depository lender in the country. He's actually being interviewed right now to be a host on Shark Tank. It's pretty incredible. I just opened the Miami Loan Depot Stadium. And I said, I made a little bit of a splash with him, and I'm like, so now, thank you so much. It was a pleasure working with you, but I have to go open my own branch. And he's like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I'm sorry, you don't have a branch opportunity, and I need one. So I left. I went to Fairway, opened my own branch, and Loan Depot kept calling. They're like, what do we have to do, Jen? What do we have to do? I said, you have to give me a branch. He's like, we don't have that. I said, create it, and I'll come back. So we got the first profit and loss branch in the country. And we are far from over. So I just want everyone to know who does work with me. The reason why I wanted my own branch was not so that my pocket could get fatter, but so that we can make an impact in the areas we work in. I have a huge passion for helping youth. Obviously, I was very troubled, and if I would have been inspired sooner, I think we could have made a difference. So my goal is to do that and help create an alternative to the streets, because there's a lot of reasons why people turn there, and if they had an alternative, maybe they wouldn't. So that's my impact that I plan to make, and everyone who works with us, you guys are all gonna be a part of the cause and be a part of the reason why we're able to make such a great impact. So, and one more thing before I leave. So my mentor, I researched him, I found out all about him, and I knew that I was going to work with him one day. So now he mentors me personally, weekly. He was also featured on Million Dollar Listing LA. He sold his house with the Altman brothers, his $4 million mansion in the Hollywood Hills. His name is Ryan Blair, and we will be doing a live Zoom next Thursday at 9:30. He'll be dropping tidbits, so if you guys want to jump on, I'll also be telling you what loanDepot has to offer and why our team is different. So I would love to see you all there, and hopefully we'll work together one day. Thank you.